All right, this is the Speak Your Peace podcast, and the question we have right now is video games falling off? Are they decreasing? Are they not what they used to be?
Um, Video games. Well, I guess it depends on what type of video game you used to, you're usually playing. For me, I was never a Call of Duty guy. So usually when Call of Duty comes out, there's always that one Call of Duty game that becomes like this cult classic. I think a lot of people like to play the Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Modern
People
Warfare 2.
or Modern Warfare 2. Those are the ones that whenever people talk about Call of Duty, they always bring them up. To me, they all the same because they take a rocket launcher to the face, don't die, but you knifing me, and it's the worst game ever. I'm a GTA guy when it comes to you know guns and violence of that nature for the video game. But even GTA has, to me, I guess you can say, has fallen off. Of course, it's all money. It's all about because once they started putting all those flying jets up on there and the motorcycles and everything is now overly expensive. You got like it's literal like we can name a car in real life. I just got that photo. You can buy cars in that game. Let's say the real life brand is a 1997 Buick, $2 million. And so you ain't got no seatbelt, nothing. And for some reason, two million, $2 million. But of course. So if we're going to speak on it in a sense of gameplay, I think that a lot of games have actually gotten better. I like a lot of these games have stories now. Back in the day, games like Mortal Kombat they didn't even have a story. Now they have stories. Now you can actually play, Kung Lao and I don't really know their names, Tong Chi or whatever they're supposed to be called. Everybody knows Scorpion. I know Sub Zero, um, Raiden, but now there's a story. So those are certain things that I feel a lot of people who don't want to play those types of games. Even again, NBA 2K, they have the story now.
Yeah, correct.
Before it was just basketball. You just play exhibition, but now
You buy
there was
chains,
yeah,
you
you got
get
all that
bikes,
stuff.
skateboards,
You couldn't do any of that stuff back in the day.
you buy Polo, Ralph Lauren, Gucci.
All that stuff. You got your character looking like Beetlejuice, and when I say Beetlejuice, I'm talking about the short midget one, the extra dark with the teeth. It look awful.
You got people coming walking up looking like Quavo to go play basketball.
Even though they don't play like them. Um, so I think that video games, to a degree, has gotten better. I think that for me individually, I don't play video games as much as I used to. So that's probably why I don't really see any true, evolution with games. But I've noticed, even again, I used to grow up, watching wrestling, playing wrestling. Story mode was crazy. My favorite all time game, I have two. Mhm. Well, I guess for PlayStation 2, let me say that. It's True Crimes New York City and SmackDown versus Raw 2006. And I don't think there's no story mode for wrestling better than 2006, especially for the created character on SmackDown. Because to me, Theodore Long gets run over. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but um, to me, that's when story modes was at its peak for wrestling. Now these wrestling games, they don't really have a story. and if they do, it's mediocre. But I think in general, yeah, video games have gotten better.
Ever since 2K took over, that's when the wrestling games. I think the wrestling games fallen off ever since 2K took over the wrestling games.
So you talking about 2K brand?
Yeah, because
What was
remember
they before?
it was THQ,
THQ.
and then THQ went bankrupt, and then 2K bought them, and then wrestling started to become like NBA 2K instead of actual wrestling video game.
The only good thing about that was the graphics.
Yeah, that's it.
Roman Reigns actually looked like Roman Reigns. Because before they be out here looking like created characters. They don't even be having their own picture. I remember they'll be like old school people. We talking like what were they called? The headbangers. This is all wrestling. Um, yeah, like what's the game? What's the game? WrestleMania 2000, I think it was. I know some people who hate that game. I never really cared for that game either. Because we talking Nintendo 64. I was a No Mercy dude. That was my game for No Mercy. But they didn't look like their actual character, or at least their actual counterpart in real life. But now they look just like they real life, the actual wrestler. So but yeah, to me, yeah, wrestling, not wrestling, but video games. Period. You got other games like The Last of Us. Those stories are good to me. I can actually watch them as a movie.
If they
So
actually are turning into a movie.
yeah, they are definitely to me. I think video games have gotten better. I think that of course, they've gotten politically correct. Um, there's a lot of messages in these games, but I think in general, yeah, they got better.
I'm gonna disagree. Uh, I think they focus too much on the sales and like the marketing than they do the actual game. Like like 2K, like it's not even about basketball no more. It's like you you can skateboard, ride bikes, buy a gold chain. It's not even like about basketball. Like it's so much stuff into the game now to where I think they had to like take some stuff out because the game was like crashing. Like you couldn't even go and play park games because there's so much other stuff in the game that it wouldn't hold. If they were to keep it strictly on basketball with the new consoles they have now, it would be a way better gameplay experience. I think instead of adding all this extra stuff that is not really basketball related. It looks nice, but it's not really basketball related. Other games like wrestling, like we just spoke of. I remember Here Come the Pain. You could do any and everything in that game. You could do any everything. You could drive a motorcycle, carry the other dude in one hand, and literally launch him into a freaking electrical fence. Like you could do anything. Slam people through walls, throw them off the Empire State Building, 5-star fog splash off the
Yeah,
Empire State
yeah, you
Building.
can cheat.
You could do anything you think of in the wrestling game. Now it's so limited.
Let me say this about that, because he be cheating. Let me say one thing. Um, who remembers for the wrestling game? It was almost a cheat code to run and grab or run and attack. You could barely reverse that. I don't think it's the same as it is now. I think that it. I think that you can reverse a little bit better now. But back when with those games, here come the pain. And today's right now video games, let somebody be able to use a motorcycle in a match. They're gonna run all the way to the other side of the map, come back. You sitting there trying to do your finisher, and he's just gonna sit there and run you over. I don't think that they should have took it out the game, but I do understand how that could be a cheat.
I mean, it could have, but still, it's like you take out all this stuff, and now the game is more limited. Like you can only do but so much. Even though it looks nice, the graphics or whatever, the presentation of the game looks nice, but you're still kind of limited to what you could used to do. Um, Another game I play, uh, Madden. Uh, it's been the same. Madden 23. I just got it. It's a little different. It's a little more advanced. But even since what 2009, it's been the same game. It's been it's just Madden. Like don't get me wrong, I play it. You know, you want to see your players or whatever your favorite teams. You want to use those players, but it's Madden's has always been it's been the same. People use what same formation, same plays, play action. They use fast quarterbacks now. It's yeah, it's all marketing. Now they got the yard, which is like the park for 2K, but it's on Madden. You gotta pay for clothes. You gotta pay for helmets. It's yeah. It's more marketing based now than it is worried about actual gameplay. Yeah. So I think games is heading in the wrong direction. I believe if they were to take it off of the marketing and just focus on actual gameplay, I believe video games would be a lot more better than what they are now. So yeah, that was my speak my piece.
Okay.